a nice use of different shots, mid-shots and close-ups. Yeah, that was really good. At times it does. The sound makes it a little bit difficult to follow the story. The plot is given away at the end. There's too much information being shown. For sound, add some background sound to it, some non-diegetic. For mise-en-scène, perhaps the actors could change costumes so it shows you different locations. Cinematography, vary it up. Maybe some close-ups in there. And finally, for editing, just a lack of any of the graphics. There isn't any in there, so make sure you get your titles in there, make your graphics in there. I like the relationship between the three characters. The three characters are pretty good. Framing, shot types at times, and the majority of it is good. And there's clear tension. You can see kind of, what you're actually getting at against the double X. I think the main thing is adding too much at the end. I think almost it feels like a short film. So make sure, don't forget that you can montage and use the montage a little bit more so the shots can be taken from anywhere at any part of the story to make sense.
Some of the cinematography is very poor. There's some very dark shots, there's some unsteady sort of camera work. In terms of sound, there isn't a lot going on. It needs some type of ambient sound on it, which is appropriate to a romantic comedy. Possibly doing some graphics on there, just to maybe help the narrative along a little bit more. To explain some of the key issues in the film, some of the problems that the characters are going to face. If you can make that a little bit clearer, I think you certainly benefit from that. I think it nearly conforms to hybrid genre. I don't think it gives enough away in terms of. I think it looks a little bit like a short film, where if you could shorten down some of the scenes, some of the clips, if you could cut them down and maybe put some graphics in to help the narrative, and if you put some non-diegetic sound on, because the sound will bring the trailer to life, and it will, if it's a rom-com, if you get the correct sort of sound bed, then that type of sound will reinforce that place within its genre. Really think about your edits, keep it nice and short, make sure it flows. You should never notice editing, so try and make it flow. In terms of cinematography, possibly a couple more action shots, a little bit more going on. The mise-en-scène, I think, is okay. It's like set in sort of a suburban, environment, which is quite nice. And in terms of sound, again, just add some ambient sound, which is, quite quirky, quite jumpy, nice little beat, and that will help your genre. My favourite part of the trailer is when the main character is stuck in between the two female characters. That shot in itself, you see what the problem is. You see what the film's going to be about. You see what the main issues are going to be. Or if you don't see it, you can guess what sort of, you can recognise what sort of problems the characters have. Generally, just put the correct music on it. Make sure the music's at the correct levels, and make sure the editing's seamless. And the editing and the sound together should have reinforce your meaning. If you're still struggling, I would put some graphics on there.
I think the narrative is clear, and you've got a nice use of different shots, mid-shots and close-ups. It was quite difficult to understand the plot at times. The framing of the two main characters was problematic. Um, I could tell that it was a rom-com because of the shots you've used and dialogue, and perhaps you should like play around a bit with the chronology of the shots. For sound, I think you should introduce themes and strings to try and make it more engaging for the audience. The mise-en-scène, maybe you could use a few more different locations, and cinematography, try using different angles to show the personalities of the characters. My favourite part of the trailer is the awkward scene between the three characters. It was very comedy-like and made me want to watch it more. No, I think it's overall good.
Love it. It feels like a teaser trailer now, as hints of how the story goes. The titles are very much in line with being a rom-com, and there is that nice rom-com montage in there, which is excellent. That's good. Yeah, it feels as if it's very romance because you've got that kind of. I like that relationship between the two best friends in talking about. So he likes someone, so there's that romance, but then you've got that juxtaposed with comedic elements of falling over and all of that kind of thing. Really nice sound and edited there. Very good. Yeah, good. I don't know, because you've really tidied up your cinematography since I last seen it. It's really good quality. I think there's only one bit where it's a bit blurry, but that is really it. Everything else, you've used different locations at the front there with you travelling in. Again, like the titles. Maybe the sound, I like the way it stops and starts. Maybe they could have been two soundtracks a little bit, but I like it. Yeah, it's good. 2 scores. I think the end. I think that montage I was on about before, when he was on the phone going, I don't know which one, and then you're also playing, which one is he going to get with, and everything like that. So that keeps it, really questionable. Makes you want to watch it. And also, the best bit as well, I just love the way you've done your titles, how they come on. And how they, I think it's really good. Change your mind. I'd like to see more of the story, to be honest. If I could see more of the story, make it a full one trailer, which can only be a positive, really, can't it? It was a teaser. No, that's it. You've got your production company goals, always lovely. Yeah, very good. Excellent. Good.
I quite like it. I think it's clear that it's a romantic comedy, so you subgenre. I like the facial expressions on the characters' faces. I like some of the actions, like the girl falling up the stairs. It certainly sort of hints at that comedy element, and also like that big dilemma that the central character has. The narrative is quite clear in that respect. I think the trailer is definitely an example of a hybrid, romantic comedy. Like I said, you've got the central character who's like, he's caught in the middle of the two exes or the two females. It's clear that one of them's a bit dippy and a bit stupid. It's, I can imagine, the whole scenario is set up for some quite funny sort of scenes and scenarios and some, predicaments that the central character will get himself into. So yeah, I think it's a really good example of a hybrid. The cinematography, I think the shots are appropriate because there's lots of mid shots. I really liked the little bit where the character fell up the stairs at the end, and maybe possibly I'd like to have seen a little bit more of that because that was funny. That drew me in. That pulled me into certainly appealed to me anyway. The editing is quite seamless. You don't notice it all that well. So I suppose if you don't notice the editing, then that's a good thing. The music is quite quirky, the non-diegetic sound. it certainly adds to the hybrid genre or the subgenre, because it's not too serious, it's not too romantic, it's quite light-hearted and quite fast-paced for a romance. So yeah, I think it's appropriate. I like the scene where the male character is in the kitchen and he's got the two girls either side of him. I think that explains implicitly what the plot is, what the narrative is. In that one shot, you know exactly, what challenges this character is going to face. You could probably risk, quite a good guess at what the issues are going to be for the two female characters. So yeah, it certainly hints, more than a hint, of what genre it is. On reflection of watching the trailer, I would have liked to have seen some more funny shots, like I referred to earlier, the scene where the girl falls up the stairs. I would like to see more like little bits of misfortune like that. A couple more shots of conflict, some of those stupid arguments, with some type of funny response in there, relating to possibly the two female characters maybe, comparing themselves, or what does she have that I don't, type of thing, and how can they compete. I think more of that would have worked really well.
Overall, I think I can tell from the trailer that it's a romantic rom-com, and the narrative is really clear. I like the shots that you use. I can tell that it links to your genre, and I like the score that you've used throughout the trailer as well. I like the cinematography that you've used. I like all the shot types. I think it links with the genre, and I really like the score again, like throughout as they're talking. I like the scene where I don't know which character is sitting on the table and saying she's perfect and stuff, and it's showing like clips of her being weird. I just really like that. No, I think you've done a good job.